back on our channel about personal data and mass surveillance. Today's video is about the technical side of the collect of your personal data. So what is personal data? Where can it be found? Who gets to have access to information about you? What are the mechanisms behind the collect of data on the internet? In this video, I will try to give you hints on the subject. So firstly, do you even know what is referred to as a personal data? Well, according to the European Commission, personal data is any information that relates to an identified or identifiable living individual. Of course, if we think about different pieces of info that are collected and whose gathering enables the identification of an individual, that is also personal data. So personal data can be found, for example, a name and surname, a home address, email address, an identification card number, also a location data, an internet protocol address, a cookie ID, also data held by a hospital or your doctor, and many others. I know you already saw me coming with my message of carefulness, but as I am sure many people around you already told you before, each and every info that you put online is likely to be public and held somewhere in some server of a small or big company. So the argument put forward by a significant part of people when asked about whether they care about the diffusion of their personal information is that they are aware of the flows of using internet and that they behave consequently. So they truly believe that they are in full control of what they put on the internet. It's true, of course, that they have control over some part of it. Indeed, there are different types of data. The first one is the data directly declared on the internet by the internet user, via his logged profile when creating an account, or via the customer relationship management of firms. That is forms asking for the data at events or when registering for a loyalty card. However, one could already argue that individuals do not really have a choice regarding whether or not they want to answer, because the asked questions are often mandatory in order to get the service proposed. And furthermore, the other type of data, behavior data at this time, is collected much more discreetly through indirect ways. It is done by the cookies one can find pretty much everywhere, via the searches made on Google, via the browser one uses, or via external parties that are data providers that are specialized in the collect of data and who are then selling it to other firms or other organizations. But how does it work really in practice? Firstly, the cookies. A cookie is a small file saved on the internet user's computer when he visits a page, and the different pages visited are then registered in the cookie and are used to offer targeted ads to this user. Concerning the things you search on the internet, you must know that each and every website you visit is saved and is used to know your buying intentions, the things you like, you dislike, what you might do in the future, etc. And finally, the browser you use also plays its part. For example, when it offers you the possibility to save pre-written forms with your email or postal address with your name, surname, number, etc., every page you visit is then followed by Google for it to be able to propose you this pre-written form. And finally, the browsers collect the browsing history, the cookies, your download history, and etc. So all in all, it's a hell lot of information. And all those behavior data are enabling Google to create you a user account or profile, which explains why when you search something on Google, you might not find the same result in the same order in the front page, depending on the computer or the phone you're using to make the research. And so this user profile is based on the personal data that you registered or that was collected on the social media platforms you're using on the buying browsers such as Amazon, eBay, or on the travel website you went on. So it's clear here that internet is a market and that the good that is sold is your data. And the price of this good is increasing in a world where the targeting of individuals' interest is more and more valuable to companies attempting to always do more profit. Indeed, when conclusions are drawn from the processes of data mining of your data, they are producing probabilities on the behavior of population. Those conclusions are mainly based on correlations, who are or who are not the underlying patterns behind individuals' actions. Based on those results, the ads chosen are used to influence and manipulate the choices you make. But this phenomenon is pretty much widely known, so I won't explain too much on that. However, a point that might interest you, and which is relevant when discussing mass surveillance, is the implication of the collect of the personal data of a specific individual. Indeed, personal data can be put under the eyes of everyone, because we want it to be by posting on our social medias or, pretty much it. It can also be recreated by the mining and analysis of behavior data collected through the cookies and everything that I explained just before. But what we saw is that data about you can also be provided and collected by the posts or the research made by your friends, your family, and your acquaintances. Indeed, and this is a major point about personal data, our contacts, our friends, our family can put information about us on the internet even without being aware of it, or when believing that they are careful about not doing it. So this is really important, and we indeed have several examples of people who asked to get a comprehensive report of all the data Google social media had on them, and for a certain period of time. And firstly, it appeared that it's composed of about thousands of pages, so it's huge. They have a lot of information about us, and in those pages they got back, they found their agenda month by month, their discussions on Messenger and Facebook, their locations, their browsing histories, but also photos of families, friends, children that they send through social media, such as WhatsApp, for example. And even though they thought they were being very careful about the protection of those people, so it's very clear that we are communicating information about the lives of other people. We know every day when we think we only do it about ourselves. So I hope this video did not completely freak you out, but do bear in mind that everything you put on the internet, even the slightest info, is public, stocked, and certainly used every day to target you and try to manipulate you in a certain way. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something valuable, and we'll meet again very soon for a new video on the subject of mass data surveillance.